What's even a point all of this? Nothing I make feels like it matters, no matter how hard I try, or maybe how you look at my work. It's just a copy of someone else. I had no style, I had no voice. I'm just a knockoff. Sound familiar? I had the same problem, and I tried to fix it. Here's how. Watched a ton of stuff, saved a ton of stuff, and ended up with work that didn't feel like me at all, just a copy of someone else's style. The thing is, we all think what consuming more will somehow make us better and more unique. But that's exactly where the problem is. We don't notice the difference between consuming and actually building visual literacy. Just scrolling through Pinterest feed or Reels, you only creating the illusion of growth. In reality, you just stuffing your brain with images for a while. I spent a long time making renders that didn't land. That felt boring, because there was nothing unique in them. I had no style of my own because I kept making the same mistake over and over. Firstly, saving things without thinking about why. To actually grow, you need to ask yourself, what exactly do I like about this image? What caught my eye and why? To get something useful out of a piece of work, you need to actually analyze it. Sometimes you need to slow down and ask, what I'm even looking at and what grabbed me. Then save the rest based on that. Love the color palette goes into color folder. Love the storytelling but not the visual goes into narrative folder, because that's what actually matters to me. That's why I like it in the first place. Secondly, analyzing without the right knowledge. To properly analyze a piece of work, you need to understand what makes good work good in the first place. Without that foundation, you can't really evaluate quality. You'll miss important details and techniques you could steal for your own work, or miss mistakes you could have avoided. Finally, only looking at good work. You need to look at bad work too, not just a polished stuff. It might not seem like a mistake at first, but we understand things best through the contrast. So, alongside great work, look at the beginner's work, break down their mistakes, or go back and fix your old works, putting your new knowledge into practice. Where and how to build it. Quick starting point, it's a Pinterest, DeviantArt, Behance, ArtStation and similar platforms. Secondly, look at everything around work. If I want to get better at animation, I shouldn't only watch animated films. I should look everything around them. Place to find smaller artists. Lately, my friend and I got into Asian art books. Unknown but seriously skilled artists publish their work there. The algorithm would never have shown me that. Stay curious and don't stay in one lane. As a 3D artist, I try to look at not just 3D animation, but also 2D, games, their art styles and how they work visually. This all sounds like a lot. Frankly, I can understand you, but you don't have to do it all at once. Just try applying these things gradually. A few moments from my own routine. I built a daily habit, at least 5 or 7 minutes a day on Pinterest and Instagram, just to pick up something new. You can make a second account only for art and following only art accounts. I organized by category, not one big dump. I'm not a fan of folders called My Saves or Saved Pins. I like having separate folders. Poses, colors, vibe folders, but each one has to have only one vibe. Pieces or video I liked, I put them on a board in Obsidian or Figma, where I can also leave a note on what exactly was cool about it. Every creative person needs to constantly feed themselves something new, discover something fresh and let it pass through, so that later you can express it in your work, whatever the work looks like. So, next time you're scrolling through the Pinterest, stop on a picture for a second and ask yourself, why did this catch my eye? So, if you want more content about stylization, especially how I made this character, or maybe what I want to do with this little girl, about my different hour projects, you can check out my Patreon. If you're already my Patreon, thank you so much. Thank you. Your help means a lot to me. Yeah. And now it's really